Yo, you're listening to All Elite Podcast. Boom.
And it is the worst podcast ever. We lied! Ow!
This is Isaiah Cassidy. I'm Mark Wynn, and we're Private Podcast.
This is the All Elite Podcast.
And you're listening to the All Elite Podcast.
Which happens to be the worst podcast I've ever been on. SCU!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the All Elite Podcast right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. Tiffany, before I do our introductions, gotta get something off my chest here.
Okay.
This is very difficult as I try to be as mature as possible for this. Do you realize what number podcast we are at today? We are at 69. Episode number 69 of the All Elite Podcast is right here on the glorious No Holds Barred Network. I'm your host, as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host and the owner and CEO of the No Holds Barred Network, Kyle Masters. I'm always joined by my co-host right here on episode number 69. She's my co-host. She's the EVP of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the Queen of the Indies, and possibly the Exalted One, Tiffany. As we all seen in that teaser video that was released anonymously on the network. Not sure who posted that. That was me. I don't know. I was sent to it in the mail. It was in VHS for whatever reason. I don't know if VHS even they still existed. I had to convert it. It was hard. It took me a while. That's why it took a long time. It was just tough.
Damn VHS.
Damn VHS. Who uses VHS anymore? I guess the Exalted One's old school. So
I don't even think I have any. I mean, I don't have any I have some stuff in storage, but I don't even have a VHS player anymore.
Did you call it VHS in your kid? Did you say cassettes? Like when I was a kid, I was like, cassette.
No.
It's like I'm gonna get it on cassette.
No, we used to call it VHS.
I don't know. I know it's weird. Maybe it's a Canadian thing.
And Jay's accent about the Exalted One. Yes. If you watch the last episode, apparently I'm the Exalted One.
She's got two sides of her. One comes out without the other knowing. That's why I say she's the Exalted One.
It's really horns that I got going on. Not a big deal.
I should have put the video here, but that's okay. We'll see when it's revealed. We'll know. This podcast is probably in jeopardy at that point, but we'll see.
We're getting booted.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the All Elite Podcast. If you're new, welcome. This is where myself and Tiff just chit chat about AEW, keeping you guys up to date what's going on at AEW World. We give you guys our opinions. We'd love to hear your opinions out there. So anytime you want to chat with us, you can tweet at us at Real Kyle Masters myself. You can tweet at Tiffany at Loves to Dream 82, or you can leave comments down below. We want to chat with you guys. We want to talk about this growing brand, and that is AEW. And that's basically what we do here. And we kind of recap Dynamite each and every single week, which this week, damn, it was hot in hot Atlanta.
Oof. We need to break some champagne, get the ice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it was hot in hot Atlanta, as we are at least a week and 3 days away from AEW Revolution, the first pay-per-view in the quarterly schedule in AEW. We had some further in storyline tonight. We had some build-up towards the pay-per-view. I'm excited. Next week we have the go-home show with some more exciting matches on the way, with the big match of the 30-minute Iron Man match between Pac and Kenny Omega, which is I'm looking forward to. Obviously, you can see if you're watching the video version of this podcast, I'm wearing my Kenny Omega t-shirt that finally came in from the lost order from Pro Wrestling Tees that happened on Black Friday. I guess it wasn't just Mrs. Masters' order that got lost, because she ordered me the shirt. I guess there was a massive order that got just, they just lost it somewhere. And you want to know what's funny, Tiff? So we got it a couple of weeks ago after Pro Wrestling Tees emailed us saying that we're just going to reprint everything and resend everything. So we got it. And then a week later, the missing package showed up at the post office.
I know. Mrs. Masters told me. I was like,
and
wow.
they wanted us to pay duty on it. We're like, no.
I don't even know what happened. So what wound up happening? Did you guys have to pay duty on it?
We haven't gone over there. We're just like, that's not ours. We already have it.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
I just realized something. I didn't have you clip the stuff that MJF scarf sent us.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry, MJF scarf. We'll get it for the next show.
Oh,
don't get mad at a scarf. I always hate to have a piece of clothing mad at me, but I don't wear Burberry. Don't hate on me. Don't hate on me.
Shame Bell.
Shame. I don't have it. I don't know. It's missing.
How does it miss?
I don't know why.
The shame bell.
I don't know where it went. It's just scary. It's the creepers. They stole it. I know they did. You're sending the creepers here. You Exalted One. You sent them to steal it. It's on its way over. See, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Anywho, Dynamite this week. Yeah, awesome episode. We had it from Atlanta, hot Atlanta. Man, it was such a jam-packed show, and it was exciting. This is probably one of their best episodes. I'm not gonna lie. I know I'd like to say this a lot, and there's a lot of episodes where you're like, oh man, it's definitely their best episode, but I was so excited. There was a lot of stuff in this episode that happened where I'm like, oh, okay. All right. This was a good episode. I felt like this was more of a, I don't know how the go home show is gonna top this. This felt like a go home show.
I know. Do you feel that we should have got the cage match next week?
Yeah.
This before, it was like maybe we should have got the cage match next week, but I guess we're gonna get trash talk next week. MJF's probably gonna try to find some way. And
they kind of want Cody maybe 100% at Revolution. You're taking a risk with a cage match. If something were to happen to Cody, you're putting that match in jeopardy. This way, you have a week and 3 days kind of to recover a little bit. So.
Yeah. But it was good.
Yeah. It was jam-packed. There were so many good things that happened tonight. I think a lot more positives than negatives, which is great. It was just from top to bottom looking at the like what happened tonight here, and I wrote so many good things about tonight's episode. It's ridiculous.
I know. Even Randy said in the chat, these last couple episodes have been amazing. They really have been. It's like, I don't know, not that I fell off the wagon or whatever, but I feel like, especially like last week, I was so excited to podcast and talk about last week's episode. Yeah. So, and then like, there's so much, like, I can't wait to talk about the tag team battle royal, because I was so excited for this. Mm-hmm. So, what do you want to do?
Well, first, we kind of want to see like what's going. A couple of things have been going on in the AEW world, and one thing was announced a couple of weeks ago. So it looks like, as of Double or Nothing 2 this year in Vegas, they're going to be staying there another week. They did announce that the Fallout Dynamite is going to be at the same arena, so they're staying there for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for 5 days. So it's basically like a week in Vegas. So you're going to have the show, the pay-per-view on Saturday with Double or Nothing, and then you got the Fallout episode in the same arena, same place that following Wednesday, which is cool. I'm excited for that. So, I don't know. Do you feel like they maybe should have went somewhere else, or? No.
I mean, why not? Why not? Because not that I'm comparing to WrestleMania, but you'll have like a big pay-per-view, and then they like a couple days before and stuff. So
that's true. They would have what, like the SmackDown, the Raw, kind of like in the same city. So.
You know what? Also, if you think about it, like a lot of people might like travel to Vegas for Double or Nothing, right? So it probably also gives a chance for people that live near Vegas that maybe that can't go to Double or Nothing, or it gives them a chance more of the people that live hometown, I feel like.
Yeah. We're going to get a lot of people that do travel from afar that, now that AEW is growing, we're going to get a lot of people that travel from afar to attend these events. And I think they did a pretty good job marketing it they labeled it as the party continues.
Oof.
In Las Vegas. Oof.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this party. Oof. Are we gonna pop a little bit of that?
I mean, I wish I was going, but damn, man, like.
I thought about going,
so
but
expensive.
You need money.
Yeah, especially Vegas. And was that Duff giving his 2 cents there?
Giving your 2 cents.
Squeak, squeak. That's my 2 cents. Squeak, squeak. God. But yeah, so. All right. I mean, I like that they marketed it as like the party continues. I mean, that was smart marketing. But as for announcing more places, I'm sure we're going to get more. They announced a couple of places in, was it April? They're going back to Philly and Boston, the same arenas they did back in October. So
I'm tempted to go to Philly. It's not that far.
No?
I think about a 3 hour drive, 3.5, depending.
Okay.
It's tempting. It's really tempting. So we'll see. We'll see. I haven't decided yet.
How many hours did you say it was from you?
3.
3. Okay.
3
and the New Jersey one that you're going to, the Dynamite, is not that far.
Like 2 hours maybe.
Okay, so you're traveling. Hey, see, look, you're traveling good distance for a couple of things there.
No, definitely. I mean, if I'm not traveling for the indie scene, because I've traveled outside of New York, I've gone to Pennsylvania for stuff. So I don't mind doing the travel, especially if it's a couple of hours. I mean, how many hours I think I drove to you when we went to Full Gear? It was about 3.5.
You drove to Baltimore. That's right. Oh, we did too, but it was a longer drive for me.
Yeah, you had a long drive. So, but we shall see.
Yeah. The rankings came out right before the show. Pretty standard rankings. Jon Moxley obviously still in first. Cody hanging on to that second spot. Pac in Omega. And then MJF at the 5th spot. As for the women's rankings, Nyla with that new number 1 champion spot. Look at that picture they chose. Her licking the title. Interesting one. Now Riho falling back to number 1. Statlander number 2. Hikaru Shida 3. Zakazaki at number 4 and 5 at Baker. Now, I want to bring something up about this. So we saw tonight that, Swole is getting herself in this, trying to make her presence known in the title picture. Wouldn't she should have been somewhere in these rankings if they're going to go ahead and do that tonight?
I agree.
Like Statlander's there, that makes sense, but like why?
I like the way that we kind of like have it set up for this week, right? That we're gonna have Statlander and Big Swole probably in a match next week, right?
For the number one contender, I'm assuming.
Number one contender. Which again, we go back into the whole concept like, then what do the rankings mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
So I don't know. I think so. Let me know what you guys think. Like if in the chat, and if you're listening to this later, let us know what you think. Like, do you think we should just get rid of rankings?
To me, there's like too much gray area. Like there's a lot of gray area with the rankings that are not really clear. So we'll have to see what happens going forward. And then as for the last rankings, we have the tag team ones, Hangman and obviously Kenny Omega as champions. Young Bucks number 1, solidifying that spot more tonight, winning that tag team battle royal. SCU number 2, Dark Order 3, Santana Ortiz, and Lucha Bros kind of tied in 4th place there. So, yeah, those were the rankings for this week. Rankings. So let's talk about Dynamite tonight, and we'll start off with that tag team. I mean, they start off with the tag team battle royal. Very, very interesting way to start it.
Fact that I love the fact. It's exactly what I wanted. Yeah. That I wanted both to be eliminated.
Yeah, because we were confused. We were like, is it only one? Does it both have to go? Like, are they going to be, are they all going to start around the ring with only one guy in? We didn't really get a clear picture. They kind of just said, okay, ring the bell. They all went into the ring.
Yeah.
They're like, go. This is Sparta.
Everybody got into the ring. They were, what was it? Pratt and Powerful didn't jump into the ring right away.
Yeah, there were a couple of teams that said,
which is smart.
Yeah, it's
right.
It's
like,
a tactic.
You had 10 teams, so you have 20 people in the ring. But I really love the concept that, again, like I said, that you have both of them. So I knew this was going to happen. I said this last week, that it was going to be the Young Bucks that took it. Mm-hmm. And I knew it, like the minute that Nick got thrown out, I was like, Matt's taking all of this.
I think they did a good job to kind of fool you a little bit, though. This was a very good match. Like, even the ending was just... everything they did in this match was really good. I mean, the beginning was a little bit chaotic. I mean, with all the teams going in there, it's really hard to, like, watch and focus on, like, one thing. But then, like, as the teams got eliminated, they had more time to kind of, like, do some more things with the match, and I thought it was very, very good and very exciting to watch. We had a little moment where Shima was given a mask by the Dark Order because they were at ringside, and they eliminated SU. They caused SCU to get eliminated, which makes me think that SCU and Dark Order are probably going to have a match at there's going to be something to do with Christopher Daniels or something at Revolution, which makes me think that this is just another tactic to use to get us to think that it's Christopher Daniels. And I don't think it is.
No, definitely. I was having this conversation with my best friend Brad the other day. I was like, it's too obvious, right? It's supposed to be throwing us off, making us think like, oh, is Christopher Daniels really going to join? Absolutely not. That's what they want you to think. It's going to be someone that you probably least expect it. I do like the idea that Kenny is the Exalted One. We talked about this on the other last episode. It would be very interesting, or it could be somebody completely new.
Yeah. Okay. And then we had a little bit of glimpse of a deception with the Strong Hearts because Shima was given a mask today. It's freaking hilarious. The people at ringside were like, don't do it. Don't do it. And then he just grabbed it and walked away as the Dark Order did their pose. And I don't know. Is Shima going to join the Dark Order? Ooh.
I need more OWE. I'm sorry. I love them so. Kyle are huge fans of them. We need more. I need to see more. I'm glad that we did get to see more of tag teams that we might not see like every week. So I'm so glad that we got to see more, even though that it's in a battle royale and it's chaos and it's crazy and it's like maybe you get a spot hit there, but I'm hoping we get more. And I'm all down for more of these. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm definitely down for more about it.
I want to see more tag team battle royals. They did such a good job with the spots they did, like the whole Orange Cassidy thing. I knew there was going to be something to do with him, and that was so well done. Even getting Bunny to get some legit like heat, some heel heat with low blowing him. Perfectly done.
Orange Cassidy caught Trent.
Yep.
And was like walking in with him sitting on the shoulders. I was dying. I was like, yes. I was like, I love this moment. Like, can I be in between? And then when we had the best friends hug between Trent and Matt Jackson, can I be in between that as well? Please. Oof. List the husbands.
Yeah, that was good. This was very good. I love the ending. This was really well done. So Matt and Nick moving on to Revolution to face Kenny and Hangman for the tag team title belts. That is sure to be one hell of a match. Speaking of you said list of husbands.
Yes.
I'll talk about my list of wives.
I threw you under
it's been
the
a
bus.
+1. I know you did. I heard that on your little under the ropes there. Thanks. It's okay. It's okay. I'm humble that she was okay with it. Anyways, I've had one. Gotta had one. Shauna, this week, you put yourself on the list because she is a Dragon Ball Z fan, and that outfit was 100% amazing. It was wow, and she looked good in it. And I was like, okay, list added, Brit done.
What, you took Brit off?
No.
Oh, I was like, I'm getting.
I know.
Like,
I know it sounded like Brit there. Speaking of, she was on commentary, and they did this one thing. I was dying. So she gave Tony a coffee cup, and the camera showed the commentary desk, and it said Siobhan Coffee with his face in the middle. It was a Starbucks logo, and she wrote his name, but spelled it Toney, like Toney. Like like normal people at Starbucks, they don't spell your first name. Which, funny thing, Tiff.
Yeah.
I have probably one of the most common first names in the entire world. Kyle is a very, very, very common first name. The other day, for the first time in my entire life, I had someone misspell my first name. My first name is literally 4 letters, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle spelled the right way, Kyle. I was given an order with the name Kayl. Kayl. That's Kale. That's not Kyle. It's Kale.
I'm gonna call
First time ever.
Kale from the All Elite podcast.
It's Kale Masters. Not happening.
Hello, Kale.
Anyways, so this match I thought was all right. It was a good match. I mean, we haven't seen Shauna in a while. She's back from injury. Statlander finally get to see her back in the ring. We were waiting to see her back in the ring. These two, I think, had a pretty good match. I thought they were all right. I was watching through the picture-in-picture as well. Statlander ended up hitting her finisher, and that was kind of it. Which they kind of transitioned well between this match and the promo package for Nyla that they gave her, like showing like the highlights from last week and how much of a beast she is. So, and this was a smooth transition from this to the vignette to coming back from commercial to Nyla coming out and speaking with Tony Schiavone. Like, this was smooth, one after the other. They didn't put anything in between to get you like off track. This was a smooth transition through all three. And even Nyla Rose would talking with Siobhan, like Shivani, sorry. I'm because of Britt Baker, that's how she says it, so it's stuck in my head. She did a good job of getting heat. Cut a very good promo, saying that she should have been the first champ, and saying stuff like she should be the AEW, the face of this division. Her face should be on everything. She should be the most paid woman in the locker room, and I think that was also a jab. I don't know if anyone caught that. When she said the line "most paid woman," her eyes widened and looked into the camera because of all the backlash this girl's been getting, and I feel bad for her because of it. And we went over that last week, which I'm not going to get too much into it because it kept me heated up.
No, I like when she was like, "When I get hungry, I break bitches."
Yeah, I break bitches. When I get home, you know what's funny? I'm watching Mrs. Master. She's like, "When I get hungry, I just eat cookies." And I'm like, okay, yeah.
Like, this felt like a really, like, I got fired up with this promo. Like, it really made me believe that she is a beast.
Yeah.
Like it was really good. Really, really good. So.
It was good. And then they had Statlander and Swole get in her face. Like, Statlander was going to do the whole boop thing, and then she does it on the title, which is cool. Swole coming out and then swoling herself up and getting into Nyla's face. So.
Yeah.
this all screams number one contenders match next week, and I think it does go to two deserving women. These two women have been on TV and have worked the most out of the last couple of months, and I think they both do deserve a number one contenders match. And a lot of people just pull the rankings and say, oh, well, maybe they should be at number one. And I'm like, yeah, they should. But again, we just talked about it. Too much gray area with the rankings. Can't really go by them right now. But as for what happens on TV, Statlander and Swole, I think, are the perfect two to get a number one contenders match. So
and that's going to be a great match.
It will.
If that happens, I'm looking forward to this match.
Yeah. And I assume Statlander's probably going to get the push.
Not necessarily. Swole hasn't had her shot yet, right? So Statlander did have her shot. I don't know. I feel like we're going to get a feud with Britt and her first. So I kind of think, as much as I want Statlander to go, I feel like we're going to get a push with Big Swole finally.
The story is what you got to think story. It's the Statlander. She came out first.
So what?
I think it's going to be Statlander.
Okay. I think it's going to be Swole.
Okay. Okay.
Again, I love Statlander. I want her to have the title on her more than anybody. If it's not Statlander, then I feel Sheeta should take it.
Yeah.
Right.
I haven't even seen her on TV in a while. It's just you can't really just put her in there. Yeah. And that's what WWE does, and that's what people don't like about WWE is that they just give people number one contenders when they don't deserve it and they haven't done anything, right? Yeah. You give it to the person who's done a lot. I mean, and this is perfect that they chose these two women because these two women have been winning and doing a lot on TV. So you can't just be like, okay, Sheeta's gonna get it. It's like, why? As much as I love her, so we had a debut. Well, he had two debuts. Obviously, he had the big one in the main event, which we'll get to. But Jeff Cobb made his debut on Dynamite tonight. I was gonna say this week, but it was literally tonight. Chris Jericho bringing back the I got a ticket thing. Comes to ringside. He's got a ticket. He's going around the crowd showing everybody he's got a ticket. And then Sammy G and Hager are with them, and they had some front row ringside tickets. Man, nothing but the best for Le Champion. Le Champion. But the crowd singing his theme song once again looks like this is a trending thing, and it just gets louder. And this was louder because they're in a bigger arena. This was a huge arena, like a 3-tiered. Like we haven't had a 3-tiered arena in a long time, and I think that was actually the last. If I'm not mistaken, the last 3-tiered arena they went to was the one I went to in Washington at the it's the Capital One Arena or something like that. But it looked good. I mean, there's probably going to be pictures out there that they show the drapes on for some sections, but it's going to happen. But it was a very physical match, like very, very physical match. And we knew this coming in. Like these two were going to just beat the living crap out of each other, right?
That's what we need, more big guys. Right? I feel like AEW needs.
Yeah. And as much as Cobb took the loss here, and I know a lot of people were complaining about this, I saw a mix on Twitter. I think this was an okay loss. Because he's not actually officially signed to AEW yet. He's still contracted under Ring of Honor as far as the internet is saying. 2, he dominated Jon Moxley through his entire match. If you weren't watching this match, then I don't know what you're complaining about. He literally destroyed Jon Moxley and lost on a fluke. Like he had him, and then Jon Moxley was able to just get his leg over his leg to lock it in really quickly. Like this wasn't like a squash. Right. Like he beat the living crap out of Moxley, and he was already battered up. So.
This is what I talked about, because since you're saying it, we did have the new 2 ring debuts, and they both lost. Now, in reality, right, we're used to, right? I'm not saying anything against it. It was really me putting a tweet out question because I was really curious what people were saying and thinking towards this. I think even though we knew, me and Kyle talked about this last week, that of course Moxley was going to dominate because you need him to go into Revolution winning. Same thing with Cody, right? You need them to go in strong. So how do you guys feel about, and you could talk about it too, Kyle, how do you feel about them? I mean, they look good, right? They look good. It didn't matter that they took the pins.
Yeah, I think Cobb we're not going to see for a while now, because until his contract stuff is done, Cobb's probably going to come back maybe once in a while until that. I think when his contract's finished, because Mrs. Masters Wikipedia him. It says, and she's reading off his thing, and it says, is currently a professional wrestler signed with Ring of Honor. And I'm like, okay, so he's not with AEW. He's just making an appearance. That's probably, I'm going to assume it's probably part of the relationship thing with Marty Scurll. Wouldn't it not? Because there's been talks about him saying he wants to build a bridged relationship with Ring of Honor and AEW. So maybe there's something here, like there's something that's not being said right now that has to do with this.
Right. And
either I haven't read it or hasn't come out yet. We'll have to find out. But
I mean, I hope that we still like get, cross promotions. And I think Metal and me and Texan Smart to Death Anthony, we were talking about it, like, not to take WWE down, so don't take it like that we're gonna say that, because we had a conversation. Like, how awesome would it be to have the cross promotions working together, not having to sign? I understand, like, it's kind of maybe impossible because, like, some companies like to have their own roster and have their talent, but like something like Impact, like, you see a lot, like Tessa Blanchard, that she's going all over. She was just at Warrior Wrestling. And now Chris Bay just got signed to Impact Wrestling. Like, congratulations to him. And it was funny because Cody had his eye on Chris Bay. And you lost out because that kid's going to be huge. He's 23 years old. He's a beast in the ring. I'm so happy for him that he got signed finally. But maybe Cody shouldn't be posting this stuff out on Twitter saying that he's got eyes on certain people because, look, Impact signed him. But it would be great if we could get cross promotions that could work, that maybe in like contracts that we talked about, Moxley working in New Japan. So, but that might like give like a sort of a push like with WWE maybe, because of the fact like it could kind of rank, if that's making sense how I'm saying
WWE
it.
will never ever step outside the box.
No. Well, I know that, but I'm not saying WWE working with AEW. I'm talking about all the other indie promotions.
No, even them, they won't work with anybody. Vince will never have another wrestling company appear on Raw or SmackDown ever. Ever until he's dead, Tiff. I'm telling you right now, till the day he dies. He will not change. Triple H, no, he won't either, because he's like, okay, you have that big star in that company. I'll wait till his contract's done and then throw all kinds of money at him and for him to come over here, just like he did with Killer Cross. And what's the Thatcher guy? So there's no way that company would ever work with any other company for any reason.
I'm not saying WWE working with them. I'm talking about all the other promotions like working with AEW or like Ring of Honor, New Japan.
Okay, you said WWE, so I was confused.
No. I'm saying to go up against WWE. That's the only way that maybe it would rank better. Because the WWE is the main company that everybody talks about, right? Everybody talks like WWE. When you tell somebody maybe who doesn't even watch like wrestling, they know WWE, right?
I say yes. Maybe not all the time, but yes.
But it would be a good way to like get everybody together, and of course, like as a wrestling fan, it would be money. For
like a cross promotion pay per view, like we went to, like a G1, that would be sweet.
Yeah, it would be great.
As for, again, Jeff Cobb, I thought he had a pretty good, I guess you can call it an AEW debut. Guy looks amazing. He's such a good in-ring wrestler. And we know this. We know his history with Ring of Honor and such. I think the best part of the match was actually after. So Dustin obviously came out. He came out to save Moxley because Jericho, Sammy, and Hagar were pissed that Moxley won. They just stormed the ring so fast. And Dustin came out for the save, obviously trying to build that feud with Hager, but he, the numbers game was too much for him. But the best thing, oh my god! And I was telling this to Mrs. Masters tonight, when Darby came out and he got that insane pop. I told her, I turned to her and go, man, like Tiff was right, like that she knew that this guy was gonna be huge in this company, and so far, and even after tonight, I think tonight was like, really showed how beloved this guy is, who hasn't been on TV for a while. This is his first return after almost a month and a half from that throat shot. And when he came out, the crowd absolutely lost their effing minds. And he is so over now with AEW, it's ridiculous. So good on them for making Darby into something special. It was this whole thing was very well done. And the whole, even Darby after with the picture-in-picture with the signs.
Oh my god, I was dying.
That was great.
Stop. you're finished. Mox will take the title. Hit me up. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
hit you up.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. I love it. See, that's why I do Under the Ropes, because you don't know one of these guys could get signed to like AEW or somewhere else. I'm telling you, like, I have an eye for some of these guys. And actually today I was talking to somebody and I was like, I got promoters booking matches that I want. And I brought up something today to a friend and he was like, oh man, he's like, now you got me thinking. And then my other Hank Flanagan was like, oh, he was like, see, she's gold. She knows she's got gold matches right there. So I don't know. I try to pick some of the best in the ring in the indie scene. So I was right about Darby. I was right about Private Party.
Yeah, they've really made something special out of him, and I'm so glad about it. This guy is literally money, and I cannot wait for the future with him. As for other, speaking of money, we got to bring this up right now because what AEW announced tonight is going to be money, and because the fig community is so huge, and the fact that they're introducing now, we're finally getting, they made the video announcement that AEW figs are coming in 2020. Right. And the company name for these figs is hilarious. By the way, I forget what it was like. It was like Wicked Awesome Figs or something like that. It was something crazy, but we have pictures of, and these look so good. These are probably the best looking action figures I have ever seen. Like and it's the face that gets it for me. Not just the attires, but the faces look exactly like them. Yeah. Sometimes you get like a wrestling figure and it's like, this is supposed to be him or her.
Like, yeah.
So man, I cannot wait for these to come out. We have even ones that we've had pictures circulating around with an AEW ring. So it looks like there's going to be a ring too, which is awesome. So we have a couple of pictures there.
Jimmy's definitely buying that. He needs another room just for AEW stuff.
So yeah, we have those. I mean, Cody and Kenny with his purple gear. They showed in the video that was actually, he said that was his favorite gear that he has, and that they chose that one. Cody is his Double or Nothing 1 attire and it comes with the sledgehammer, which is hilarious because he's like, oh my God, the internet's gonna love this one.
Yeah.
And then obviously Matt and Nick Jackson. Those look so good.
I know.
Those are their Las Vegas attire.
And then I need another Matt Jackson autograph.
Yeah.
the Matt autograph. I need it.
If I get these, I'm not taking them out of the package.
No, I mean I don't take them out of the package. I mean that's what I did with
I'm doing it like normal fig style, like normal collector style. I ain't gonna not come out of no package.
I can't wait to like more come out. Obviously, we're seeing like Elite, but like I can't wait. Like I'm getting Private Party if that happens. If Best Buy if Best Friends, wow, I went to Best Buy earlier. If Best Friends come out, that's happening too. So
good save.
But yeah, it's a long day, guys.
That's okay. It's okay. I didn't get the picture. I couldn't find a picture with Brandy. Brandy has one too. Hers looks really good as well. And she was like almost crying when she seen hers. Yeah. So I'm excited for these. Finally getting some wrestling figs. Next, we got to get that video game. Cannot wait.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully they're working on that. I'm sure they are. But coming in 2020, there's not a release date yet. But wrestling figs for AEW.
Get it.
AEW. Get it.
Yeah. I'm so glad that we got the Lucha Brothers back today. Like,
yeah.
Right? I was like, damn. I was like,
it's been a while.
With them. I was like, I'm so glad. I was like, those boys are going to probably be dropping the House of Glory titles real soon whenever House of Glory comes back out. But,
I'm
my God.
They've been out and about with other companies, right?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been like keeping up with that with AAA. There's so much wrestling out there. I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, they come back.
In the ring.
Tag team title match.
Yes, this was such a great match.
Hangman and Kenny versus the Lucha Brothers. I mean, we had this, like 2 months ago? And they had a really good match then. I'm glad. Usually when you get two teams or two people facing each other, even if it was singles, like say they face each other and they have a rematch a couple of weeks later, a month and a half later, you kind of almost get like the same concept matches as their previous match. This one was like completely different. I kind of appreciated the fact that they went in a different pace than the last time these two went. I mean, we still had the high flying, exciting, multiple move kind of stuff. Because it was kind of a slowish start, but they picked it up. Oh my God. By the end of this match, it picked up big time. And it was a very strong ending to an unreal tag match, just proving the fact that AEW's tag team division is so good and that their main focus is tag team wrestling and making it the best that it can ever be. And, obviously the Bucks retaining here because the story is between them and the Young Bucks, but Lucha Bros not making it easy for Hangman and Kenny, and a very, very good match. And then again, we had more deception with Hangman, still pissed. I mean, he had the Young Bucks come out, the number one contenders, and he's like, why are these guys out here? Like, we're about to face them at Revolution. Like, stop cheering with us. We're about to face you. And
Right.
He just rolls out of the ring and goes back to his normal stuff, just grabbing people's beers and chugging them down. Like, he chugged that first one very fast.
It's very like, oh my goodness. I think
Cowboy shit.
His nameplate had Yeehaw on it. Como
Yep.
se llama, like something like Como se llame or Como se dice, like Yeehaw or whatever. I was like,
Oh, man.
oh,
Poor Hangman. Like, this is just, I don't know where they're going with this. It's got to be, if it's not, like, let's just say, let's kind of think about it for a second here, Tiff. If Hangman or Kenny are not the Exalted One and they're not going with this, where are they going with this? Like, what do you think? Like, what's the payoff here? Like, what's happening at Revolution that's gonna be huge? Because we know whatever's gonna happen is going to happen at Revolution. Like, this is gonna be it's either Hangman is leaving the Elite or there's something else we're not thinking of.
Kenny.
Kenny leaves the Elite?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Well, this is what I was talking about. I was like, imagine him, like, because it's gonna be like it could be like the biggest swerve, right? We're all expecting it to be Hangman, right? But it would be the biggest swerve because, like, the Young Bucks, like, they're like hanging around, like, there's even still, like, with this match tonight and like coming out and helping Kenny up and stuff. Like, it would be the biggest swerve. It would be the biggest, like, what the fuck moment.
Okay.
Like, I would make a lot of people mad. And Kenny Omega as a heel? Think about it.
If it's going to be something with Kenny, you have to do something like the Exalted One. I can't.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine, and then Dark Order comes out.
I really want to know what you guys think. Let us know down in the comments below or tweet at All Elite Pod. I want to know what you guys think, that if Kenny or Hangman are not the Exalted One, what is the payoff between what is going to happen? What do you guys think is going to happen at Revolution that's going to affect this team and affect the Elite? Because I really want to know what you guys think out there, and because I'm confused. Because if Hangman and Kenny aren't the Exalted One, what is going on? Like, what is going to happen? Like, how long are they going to drag this out for?
No, I think we're gonna see it by Revolution. I really do, and we need to see more. We're gonna need to see more Dark Order in the ring. I know that we saw John Silver and Alex Reynolds today in the ring, but
finally new attire. They got Dark Order attire. Yeah. You see that?
Yeah.
Dropping the Beaver Boy attire.
So
looks like the Dark Order is not helping them. They just lost this match. I don't know what.
I will see, right? We're like a little over a week away, so let us know.
The Dark Order is supposed to help win.
I don't know.
I haven't seen a Dark Order win a match in a while.
Like, are we gonna get some sort of interruption at Revolution? I mean, these are things we have to watch Dynamite next week before we do our predictions. Show. So once we get through Dynamite and we do our predictions, there's a lot we can go with here. Yeah. So we'll see. One more week, the go home show.
So get to that main event, huge main event of the first ever AEW Steel Cage match. I was so pumped for this and wanting to know what it looked like. They released a picture early today. Someone took a picture in the arena. From that picture, I couldn't really tell how big the cage was until we watched Dynamite tonight, and oh my God, that was a tall steel cage. 26 feet high. Wow.
I loved it. I love the feel of it.
And then it's funny because obviously, shout out to my girl, Mrs. Masters. Like, she's so cute. She doesn't know wrestling, right? She doesn't know wrestling terminology. And that, again, it's not a shot at her. She's like, it's not a cage. There's no roof above it. That's a fence. she's like, a cage has a roof. That is a fence. I'm like, okay, we're gonna call it the steel fence match.
Yeah.
I told her, like, if it has a roof, they call it a cell in wrestling. That's just the way it is. It's always the way it's always been. That's just it. So it was just a funny moment. But anyways, that was a big cage fence, whatever you want to call it. It's stipulation number 2 in the MJF stipulation ring. The best part of this one was they changed the rules up a bit. No win by escape. You cannot climb out of it to win. You cannot climb through the door to win. There is no escape win. It's pinfall or submission only, meaning you use the cage to your advantage to brutalize your opponent. And boy, did Wardlow ever do that to Cody, because that guy got busted open again. His head's going to be a freaking minced meat by the time his career's done.
Oof, yeah, pretty much. Like, oof.
And speaking of Wardlow, interesting theme. Not really buying his theme yet. That was kind of weird for me. I was like, oh yeah, it's like nails on a chalkboard almost. Hopefully they kind of tune that up. I don't know if our boy Ruckus made that, but I don't know. Just I wasn't feeling it. Attire was interesting. I didn't think he'd go from like the traditional wrestling attire. I didn't know that's what he wore. He looked funny in it because I wasn't picturing him in that. I was just picturing him in like the generic trunks, knee pads, elbow pads, boots.
Kind of like Cole Cabana a little bit.
Yeah. But good physique. Man, that guy's got a great physique, man. He's jacked. He's huge. He lives up to that beast stance that he's been doing for the last couple of weeks in that suit. But now we got to see him in ring, and and this was his debut match for a guy that only has 6,000 followers on Twitter. Can you imagine that? His first AEW match in a steel cage with Cody Rhodes in his hometown. Insane. We got Brandy at ringside, looking like she's more of a valet they're sticking with until they figure out something with her. I don't know. I
need to know where you got your clothes, your boots. You look drop dead gorgeous today. Oof. I mean, she looks drop dead gorgeous every day.
Yeah.
But damn, I need to know these things.
We had Coach Arn, who had an interesting spot in the match where MJF nagged at him, like bringing up his father and stuff, like, you're like, his father would do it to you, do it to him, and he swung the cage the other way and smacked MJF in the face. The interesting part of the cage, Tiff, I don't know if they're going to change it in the future. It kind of scared me a little bit. The gap they had in between the cage and the ring and how floppy the cage was. You can tell that the wrestlers kind of didn't go full impact, when they've been thrown into the cage, they didn't go full impact, because if they did and just slid down, that'd be kind of dangerous.
Right.
I think maybe they kind of need to stiffen the cage up a little bit, maybe bring it closer to the ring. To me, the gap in between the ring was kind of a weird thing. I don't know. It's just me. I just felt weird looking at that and going, ooh.
Well, I wonder when we're gonna get another cage match. I
wouldn't say it until later down the line.
Yeah. So.
But Wardlow and MJF Scarf brings up a good point in the chat there. Wardlow actually did pretty good for his debut. I think he had a pretty good match with Cody Rhodes. Obviously, the big part of the entire match was the ending.
Yes.
I was like, okay, he's looking up. I'm like, what the hell is he looking at here? I'm like, he's not gonna climb up. That's way too high to do some kind of spot. And the way where Wardlow was in the ring, I'm like, there's no spot coming. And then sure enough, what does Cody do? He goes up to the top, and I'm like, oh my god, what is he doing? What's happening here?
How could you not know?
How does he do a backflip?
Why not?
I was like, what?
Why?
I thought he was gonna do an elbow drop, or he was gonna do just a jump. I didn't. He just got up there in 2 seconds. Okay, backflip. Didn't even look. Just backflip.
Why he's Cody Rhodes.
That was insane. I think that was probably the best way to end the match too. And it ended in the perfect time, because they started this match with 15 minutes to go, and I'm like, oh, this is probably going to be the most shortest horrible cage match. I thought it was a pretty good cage match, and to end it like that, I was like, perfect, good. He climbs back up there after even, and has a stare down with MJF.
MJF's face was...
Oh my god, that was great.
So,
this was a good match. I thought this was good. For the 15 minutes, what we got with the ringside antics, the actual match itself, Wardlow's debut, I think he has a good future in this company. He looked really good in the ring. I thought this was really good. And then MJF is 1 week away from facing Cody, unless they do something next week that he tries so hard to antagonize Cody to a point that he wants to touch him. I think that's what he's going to do next week. He is going to just make Cody so mad to the point where Cody's going to want to punch him. And I think we're going to get that next week.
Yeah, it's got to build something. Because if we weren't going to get this next week, we have to build it somehow. So or MJF's going to try to like talk his way out. Like, no, it's not happening. And then that's probably what it's going to be. It's not going to happen. And it's going to be like what you said. I think he's going to like force him to try.
It was nuts. That was just, it was so crazy. And I can't believe, and yeah, Kenny, for your thoughts and podcast, awesome podcast, by the way. He brings up in the chat. He didn't even look. He just got up there and just said, no, okay, I'm going to backflip now.
Well, you got to trust your partner, right?
That was...
You have to trust your partner in the ring.
There's trust fall, and then there's doing a backflip off a 26-foot cage without looking.
I trust you.
Could you imagine? Okay, no, I just thought of something. You know what they're doing next. Guess who's going into that cage, and guess who's doing a coffin drop off the 26-foot cage? Damn it, Darby.
I tell you.
You know what's happening. You know what's happening now.
Put your bodies on the line. You guys are nuts. So, but the payoff is amazing. So, you know what I heard through like that the crazy spots that we think are the craziest, right, are probably less likely for you to get hurt. It's like you wouldn't think what would wind up hurting you.
Well, I think Wardlow did a good job of actually being there on time in the proper position and to cushion the blow, because Cody didn't look that bad after that. He got up right away.
Yeah.
So,
oof.
God. And Mrs. Match was just covering her eyes because he went back up there to have a stare on with MJF. He's like, "Oh my God, please don't fall." She's like, "Don't fall."
Not gonna happen.
But yeah, this was so good. It was good. It was great.
Great episode. So you want to do our fan tweet?
Yeah, let's do our fan tweet.
Well, so we put this out yesterday. With tomorrow's AEW's Dynamite having the first ever steel cage match in the company's history, what match would you like to see AEW try next? So you guys, if you're in the chat, if you didn't answer this tweet, write it in the chat. If you're listening to the podcast later, leave it in the comments below. So we got a lot of responses. So we're gonna go to a couple of them. Datila said, I would like to see them try an I Quit match.
Yeah. I mean, they are trying the Iron Man match next week, which is not really trying. Wrestling companies do Iron Man matches all the time. But I would like them to try to, do that stipulation in some way. They might maybe not call it an I Quit. They'll probably say, like, loser has to retire or something like that. And eventually, and I think in the future they will. Maybe not right away, but I'd like them to try it eventually.
Conrad, actually, Everything Pro Wrestling, another great podcast as well. This one I like. He said Bunkhouse Brawl, Cody and Dustin Rhodes versus MJF and Wardlow. Like, I could totally see this happening. Brother and brother again.
Bunkhouse Brawl?
Yeah, that's what he wrote. Bunkhouse Brawl.
What is that? Am I missing something here?
I don't know.
I'm sorry if I'm not familiar with that, but Bunk-ass Brawl. Okay.
Bunkhouse, not ass.
Sorry, Bunk Hall. Bunk Hall, Bunkhouse, Bunk-ass, whatever. Bunk something.
Kyle's confused by the episode number 69, so he's thinking Bunkhouse.
69.
Bearded H said, I'm not sure what it was called, but it's from the Ready to Rumble movie. I can't think of the name of it.
Ready to Rumble. I think is that a really old movie with Hulk Hogan?
We need Anthony St. James to come back on the podcast since he does all these wrestling movies that he talks about.
I'm not the only wrestling movies I know of are The Wrestler and like movies that wrestlers have been in, like The Marine, like The Marine, The Condemned, like those type of. I don't know like much wrestling movies.
Wick Forever said Last Person Standing works for TV or pay-per-view. That would be good.
Yeah.
Our boy Chris says a War Games a Seek match. The Elite versus the Inner Circle. Absolutely, man.
The War Games concept? Like the two rings? Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know if they can call it. I don't know if they can call it War Games.
No, you'd have to call it something else.
Because I think I'm almost certain WWE has that trademarked.
Yeah.
You have to call it something else.
It would be good. If you really think about it, yeah, the Elite versus the Inner Circle, the two rings.
Yeah.
Cage, like, oh, man, I'm, like, hyped.
So that's why I need a video game.
Oof, yes, let's put it as a video game. Shotgun Stevie says, go ahead and put Mox and Jericho in a cage. Mark Fisher says something new and inventive. Every company has its own version of a steel cage. Hardcore, no disqualification or Iron Man match. AEW, I feel, needs something unique to them. Charles said, I would like to make them their own type of match. It would be out of the box. MJF Scarf says, hair versus hair match. We got lots of it in AEW. Loser gets shaved. Listen,
I feel like you're involving like Jungle Boy in that conversation.
Touch Trent's hair.
Chris
because,
Jericho.
Matt Jackson. But he's right. We do have a lot of guys in AEW with a lot of hair. But we don't need a Shawn Michaels deal where he's like, bald and like
so weird.
I get behind it. It's just weird to me.
I couldn't look at him the same anymore when I first seen that. I was like, what am I looking at? That's not Shawn Michaels.
I know. It's
Who
weird.
did you bring out?
Okay. Kenny, for your thoughts, said in the chat, triple cage.
Just like one on top of the other.
mega cage.
You have to do a moonsault from 46 feet up.
Oh, I need a lot of med kits for that one.
Anywho.
All Elite Fleet said, honestly, the triple cage. Oh, that's so funny. This could be their version of a hell of a cage. Oh, they actually posted a picture from like, what is this?
That WCW. Yeah. That was like the, what's it called? The Chamber of Horrors match or whatever they called it. Yeah. Oh, God, that was the worst. I'm sorry. That was the worst match I've ever seen. They have to do better than that.
Val Pancake says King of the Road match. Jonathan Sanchez is ready to rumble cage. Interesting. I kind of like that. Villa Vels, it's going to be something new. 60 years of wrestling that's been believed in Anderson and his creative. Even he worked with Dustin Rhodes. They are peaked wrestlers 70 and 80.
I kind of feel like if you're going to do something that's like an AEW thing, they're going to do something with a tag team involvement. Mm-hmm. Like if they're gonna invent their own type of match, it's got to involve a tag team. Like it's got to, because that's the number one thing is tag team wrestling. So I think you kind of have to focus more on involving tag teams in that type of stipulation. Like it's great. We had a steel cage. It was a nice looking steel cage and everything, and it's a different kind of stipulation. But kind of got to give the tag team something because that's your main focus. So I believe if they're gonna invent something like a new type of match, it's gonna involve the tag team division. That's just my thinking.
Jimmy Havoc Staple Gun says Stairway to Hell match. Havoc versus Moxley.
I'm sorry, what? Who? Jimmy Havoc Staple Gun. So we have MJF Scarf and Jimmy Havoc Staple Gun. What's with these things having their own Twitter accounts?
The Scorpio's beard. Did you see that account too?
What are we gonna have next? Kyle Masters Hat's Twitter account? What is happening here?
That Pharaoh needs a Twitter account, just saying. So he said Havoc versus Moxley versus Janela versus Allen versus Luther. Oof. Oh my God. Like, that'd be crazy. I don't think I'm ready for that. Fluffy Cakes Lives. I love these Twitter names, guys. So, thank you.
Fluffy Cake Lives. We should just do an episode reading these Twitter names. That would be freaking hilarious. Fluffy Cake wins.
I love you guys.
Oh, man. She can't even read it.
I know. So funny. Texas Bull Rope match. Cody versus MJF.
I can see that.
I'm only laughing because of your reactions, which make it even more funnier.
I can see the Texas Bull Rope thing because I'm pretty sure Dustin kind of like, or Dusty Rhodes kind of did stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Yeah. Is it a name? Is it why you're about to laugh?
Scooby-Doo.
Is that the one from Ringside today and last week?
They actually tagged the person. It's an MJF versus Scooby. You know what? This deserves a follow right now. Yeah. Okay, in a mystery machine match.
A mystery machine match. Oh boy. Okay, yeah. Did we just hire Vince Russo as creative at this point?
Stomach hurt.
God. Might as well do the Scooby Snacks on a pole match. The Queen EVP of Giggles is going to overload. Let's stop, guys.
I'm closing my tablet right now.
God. Yeah. Okay, that's enough answers. Thank you for all your answers, guys, in the fan tweet. If you guys want to participate, make sure you keep an eye on their Twitter account of All Elite Pod. We'll start and put fan tweet for you guys to participate on each and every single week, and then we'll read your answers out on the podcast without trying to kill Tiffany in the process.
That was great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is why I love doing all this. So, okay. So thank you guys.
Anyways, before we end the show and before we get into the closing remarks, have an announcement.
You have an announcement?
Well, we do.
We do?
I know it sucks because I was hoping no one would notice at first until the man who has a t-shirt on our website tweeted that the domain doesn't work anymore.
Oh, no.
And Darren tweeted at us saying, like, oh, what's going on with the t-shirt website? Domain's not working. That's because, ladies and gentlemen, the AEP t-shirt website has been rebranded. We are getting it's become bigger. It has now become the No Holds Barred Network official merchandise store. Yes, that's right.
Are you a
Same
merch freak?
store. I am a merch bag. It is now the No Holds Barred Network store. It's going to feature merchandise from every podcast on this network. Proceeds will still be donated to Culture City regardless of what merchandise is purchased. Yes, Darren, your shirt, the D's Wolves t-shirt is still on the website, but is now with the link noholdsbarnetwork.secure-decoration.com. Guys, the link will be down in the description below for you. If you're listening on the go, head on over to YouTube version of this podcast. Click the link or head on over to the No Holds Barred Network Twitter account. I'll post it on there as well. So it's been rebranded. No Holds Barred Network's official merchandise website.
No Holds Barred. I brought that up today at a friend, and I was like, they're like, did you just call it No Holds Barred? I'm like, yes, I did. I was like, if you watched like old episodes of That Ass podcast, I used to call it No Holds Barred before I joined No Holds Barred Network. I'm sorry. I did. I used to drive Kyle crazy. He'll be all right.
Speaking of Darren, guys, Darren is a member of These Wolves. These Wolves actually do the official theme song of this podcast, the song Dead to Me. It is an awesome theme song. Actually, Darren and These Wolves lent out a couple of songs from them on a couple of different podcasts on this network. So thank you again, Darren, and thank you, These Wolves, for doing that for us and letting us use your thongs for official theme songs on this network. Guys, go follow them on Facebook, facebook.com/These Wolves, on Twitter at @These_Wolves, and also on Instagram at These_Wolves. And while you're at it, why not follow this podcast on social media? And that is on Twitter at All Elite Pod, on Instagram at All Elite Pod, and like us on Facebook, the Facebook at All Elite Podcast. And then you can take us on the go. If you're more of an on-the-go podcast listener, that's okay. iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Deezer, Podcast Addict, anything with the word podcast in it, you can find the All Elite Podcast. Make sure you are looking up the No Holds Barred Network, and you will find our podcast. I know there's been a lot of confusion with a couple of people lately. Just make sure you're searching up No Holds Barred Network. You'll find our podcast and all the other beautiful podcasts on this network. So take us on the go. Listen to us.
On the go.
On the go. Or watch on YouTube, youtube.com/No Holds Barred Network, and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, do all that stuff.
Got deja vu.
You got deja vu for.
I got deja vu. Do you remember the
deja vu?
Do you remember the episode on Badass Podcast that you and Corporate Cappy came on, and you did in one breath like selling the barn, and I lost my shit on the podcast because I don't know how you did it in one breath, and I just lost it, and then you did it again to me like within like a minute. And I just started dying. So
it just sucks.
You just gave me like a deja vu moment right now. So.
Deja vu, yeah.
So let me just also talk about, because I've been promoting it on the No Holds Barred Twitter account, and I've been putting it out on the Loves to Dream 82 account as well. So the No Holds Barred Network. It's gonna be me and Ray from Indie Talks. We're gonna be in Nutley, New Jersey this Saturday. The No Holds Barred Network is the official podcast Saturday of IWA. I just did 2 episodes of Under the Ropes with the promoter who runs it, Frank, and NXZN. So you can go back on the No Holds Barred Network and go find those interviews. It's going to be a match between the both of them. So it's the promoter wrestling a wrestler. So that's be going on. But I will be covering, I'm not going to be live, but I will be covering interviews with the wrestlers beforehand, after. I mean, if there's suggestions that you guys want, hit me up and let me know so I can put this onto another episode of Indie Talks. This will be an entire episode of all this footage. You will hopefully see me getting my Too Good tank top that I've been bugging on Facebook for 18 days. 18 days. I've been putting a post out every day. So there's a lot of stuff. You're going to see Anthony Gangone. He's been on the podcast. You're going to see Too Good. You're going to see Matt Awesome. These are people that have been on the podcast before, that even Kyle and me have interviewed together. So you're going to see a lot of these guys. But if you're in Nutley, New Jersey on Saturday, 7 o'clock at night, I will be posting all the flyers. So if you're around, come hang out. I'm telling you, it's a great indie promotion. And again, me and Ray will be the official podcast that day. So.
Awesome. Great. Good stuff, guys. A lot of stuff coming over to the No Holds Barred Network. So make sure you're following it on Twitter at NHB Network and subscribing on YouTube, youtube.com/No Holds Barred Network. Hitting the like buttons on all the podcasts that you like, commenting down below. Guys, thank you so much for joining us live. You're joining us live here on YouTube. And make sure, or if you're downloading the episode and listening back, we do appreciate you listening and following us each and every single week right here in the podcast. Make sure you tune in next week. Big week next week. We're doing our official AEW Revolution preview and predictions live right here on YouTube. It looks like it's probably going to be Thursday night, so make sure you look out for that tweet on the All Elite Pods Twitter. Other than that, guys, it's going to wrap it up for this episode number 69 of the All Elite Podcast right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I'm your host of this podcast, the self-proclaimed greatest host, owner and CEO of the No Holds Barred Network, Kyle Masters, always joined by my co-host. She is the executive vice president of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the queen of the indies, and quite possibly, maybe, who knows, the exalted one, Tiffany. Maybe not anymore, but we'll see. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you for tuning in live. We'll see you guys next week for episode number 70 and the official preview and predictions of AEW Revolution. See you guys later.